Hello, hello, and welcome to the Almost Homestead. I know you've probably been wondering, where the heck is Janet? And so I thought I'd make a video explaining what has happened in this part of Indiana and what the plan is moving forward. So 2 days ago, I was driving to the farmer's market, living my life as usual. There was a little mini storm predicted and rain for a couple hours. Then sun, then rain a little later, whatever, like normal Indiana life. However, as I got on the road from my house to Brazil, Indiana, which is where I have my market on Tuesdays, the rain got harder and harder. We had hail. We were down to driving 35 miles an hour, and the alarm came on the local radio station, and I thought sure, like it was so bad, I thought sure it was a tornado that we just couldn't see because the rain was just coming down so hard, like you couldn't see what was around you. And it turned out to actually just be a severe thunderstorm warning, but I came home to no power. My house is undamaged. We have sticks down, dead sticks that were just like purged from our tree. But no damage. Thank God, no damage. However, we were without power for 29 hours, which sounds terrible, but last year we had a similar storm come through and we were without power for over 4 days. So 29 hours, we're good. We're good. It's not that deep. It wasn't nearly as hot as it was last year when this happened. It was workable. We already knew how to live like this. It's fine. But 3 blocks down from us, 3 to 5 blocks, was hit really hard. Trees down, none uprooted in this area of town, but lots that were damaged badly, lots that were, heavy branches fell on houses, on fences, and tons on power lines. So that's why we were without power. And now we are back, power's back on. So theoretically life could go back to normal, except that I lost 29 hours of business work because there's only one step of my process that requires electricity. And that is the infusing herbs into oil. You can either do it in a jar in a windowsill for 6 to 8 weeks, or you can do it in a slow cooker at a low heat for 8 to 12 hours. And because this is the active time of the market, I have been doing the 8 to 12 hours in the crock pot method. My herbs were literally in the crock pots when this all happened. So I have lost some production time, and additionally, I have an opportunity. There is a local farm here that was absolutely decimated by the storms. They had insurance come out, they just got cleared to clean, and so they are asking for volunteers to come out. And they are paying volunteers with home canned food, farm fresh eggs, farm fresh produce, farm fresh meat. Absolutely, I'm going to do that. So first of all, we got that going on. So until they get cleaned up, when I have spare time, I'm going to be out there. They're fabulous people. They volunteer at a community garden where I volunteer. But also, I'm basically taking the next week off of everything YouTube related. No TV guide, no videos. Now I'm not saying I'm not going to upload any videos, because I have some that are like needing to be edited and then tossed onto the tube. Those may come up, but I don't plan on recording. I don't plan on doing lives. I'm basically just gonna be incognito, living a different kind of life until July the 5th. My husband is also off for the bulk of that time, and we've started looking for land to move the Almost Homestead to a actual homestead with land that we own. It may not be much bigger than what we have, or if it is going to be much bigger than what we have, we will be living in a fifth wheel while we build or repair a house. So we're going to be doing that in the next week. We're going to be looking for places to do that, researching how on earth you find when properties are up for tax sales, when they're abandoned, being foreclosed on, things like that. So if you know, toss that in the comments. And I'm also going to be working really hard to get not just caught up, but ahead on how my items are. Hold on, my cat is down here. He needs 11. He doesn't know what he needs, but he's gonna be meowing in a second if I don't pick him up. Stubbies, Stubbers. And now he's distracted by like a leaf or something, so he's not coming up. Whatever. You'll hear him meowing in a minute, or less. But, so I'm working hard to get items made up ahead because I have an opportunity to open a shop for 4 hours a week in exchange for putting my, sorry, the cat. Let me see if he'll come up here and cuddle with me on my lap. There, how's that, Stubbs? Lap time sound good? Yeah, he's down for that. So yeah, in exchange for opening up their shop, I can sell my stuff there. I can even brew, or not brew, but I can even use their herbs. So I'll have some products coming out that have their community gardens herbs used in those, and they'll get a portion of my profits. And also, sorry, distracted by the cat. And also I can actually make my products there because they have like a commercial kitchen. So that'll be nice. When I don't have customers, I can brew my stuff. But of course, to sell products, you need to have products. So I'm making products for that. And I'm making products for my normal markets, and trying to get ahead so that I'm not always scrambling every week to get just enough herbs made to make it through that market, because that's stressful, that's exhausting, it's not workable long term. So let's talk about products. So I'll have to show them to you in a minute because right now, again, there's a cat on my lap. But I have made a few mainstay products that are like, they're good, they're solid. I started out the year with 3. The first one was the wound cream that I made for my mom, which is just goldenrod and comfrey infused into olive oil and then made into a balm. Then I had my plantain and jewelweed, which plantain, you know, is like your go-to for bug bites, bee stings. Jewelweed is your go-to for poison ivy. Plantain also helps with the poison ivy, the inflammation, the allergic response if you're like me. And in addition to the poison ivy rash itself, you also swell underneath it because you're allergic to the allergy, kind of. So those two were solid. Then I made a third one that I've been using all year. It's solid. And that one is my skin calming salve, which is lemon balm, calendula, and chickweed. 3 herbs that are all anti-inflammatory. That one's been going really well. But one of my customers said, hey, I got this for inflammation, but for some reason it's helping my neuropathy. And I was like, well, that's really interesting. So I looked it up and I consulted with my Renaissance grandma, and it is the lemon balm in it that is the effective ingredient causing the help to the neuropathy. So I've got to make some specific lemon balm only balms. So that one's coming up. A friend gave me a bunch of lemon balm from her yard. So those my brand is I only make herbal blends from herbs that I have grown myself or foraged myself. However, this is from someone who owns another herbal business in town, so I can just say in conjunction, this one was made in conjunction with Hope Grown. That will be amazing. And then I've got one more that I just started and people seem to already like. That is red clover and nettle. Those two herbs have both been historically used for psoriasis and eczema, both good for inflammation, but also they have been used for one of them, I forget which one, has been used for arthritis pain. So that's kind of interesting. So that's my newest product. So that's 5. 4 that I have ready and I'm selling, and then a 5th. But then life took an unexpected turn. Let me go get some products. The cat jumped off my lap. So this is the 10 of my plantain and jewelweed. It has some oil spots because this is my personal one that I've been using, because you cannot possibly imagine how often I have found myself in a patch of poison ivy this year. So yay! But then I branched out a little more and I realized that the only difference between a herbal salve or balm and an herbal lip gloss is the amount of beeswax you use. So we now have lemon balm lip balm, peppermint lip balm, and this week I'm debuting pineapple mint lip balm. So, and they're cool because the lemon balm and peppermint for sure are known to be antiviral against the hepatitis that causes your cold sores, both helping them to heal faster, sorry, cat again, and causing them to occur less often. So that's really cool. But then, in addition to the products for humans, people started asking me, can you make X or Y for my dogs? And I was like, sure. And now, these are gonna be hard to see because these were in my house during the time that the power was out. So they're gonna be, I'm honestly gonna like remelt them and put them back into the molds with some extra arrowroot powder. But we have doggy paw shaped doggy paw balms. I have them in that shape, and then I have them in, I don't know how well you'll be able to see them. See why they have to be like, you know, redone again. I have tiny paws, I have itty bitty bones that look like Legos on the other side, and I have hearts. So those are really fun. I'm gonna be sewing some pouches. Auntie Ellen would be proud. I'm using scrap pieces of fabric and an old Schwan bag that my aunt had that keeps your contents cold. I disassembled it because it was already, it had already kind of ripped. And then I'm gonna take the stuff that keeps it cool and put it in the middle of some fabric and make like a pouch, so that, because one of the markets I go to, I can just sell these as is, no big deal, because those people are at the market and then they're going home. But the other one I'm at, people stay for live music after the market, so those things are going to be out in the heat, not only at my table where I can put them in a cooler, but also for a couple of hours afterwards. So those people need the insulated pouches to put them in. So I'm doing that. And I've got some other things coming. I bought Castile soap today to try my hand at making body washes, partly because people have requested them, and partly because I'm out of body wash and was like, this seems like a good time. I also bought some arnica to try some arnica pain relief creams because people have been talking about it. I'm gonna be getting those set up and sent out to some people to try, see what they think. I have had zero luck, by the way, getting people to give me feedback about the things I've given them to try. So I'm gonna have to figure out some better way to do that, so that I remember who I gave things to so I can ask them about it. So yeah, that's kind of life in a nutshell. But basically, I'm taking the next week get my life together. We're doing a bunch of purging of the house because we need to anyway. We got too much stuff, but also my husband, because he's off 3 weeks, he wants to do some yard sales, get rid of some of that stuff that way. Clean out the garage where we've got all kinds of stuff of literally everyone else's that is residing in our garage. We don't really want it to be, and so on and so forth. So new product development will be happening in the next week. Yesterday, while we were charging all of our power banks at the library, I got to enjoy some time researching different herbs, and that I missed that. I didn't realize how much I missed that. Also, now the girl kitty is here. Flea is here to join our video. So I'm going to be doing some more research. I was able to buy a Russian wormwood plant. I took over management of the herb bed at a local community garden. That gives me access to balloon flower, more comfrey than I ever imagined existed in the earth. What else? Lots of chamomile, lots of sage, which is going to be fun. There's lots of things that I would like to make with sage. I'll just have to mark that they're in partnership with the community garden, and as a courtesy, I will give them a portion of the profits. And that'll be fun. There's a bit of borage there. Oh, and that reminds me, I missed the planter garden the last challenge. The day that we had the storm was the day that was due. So I'm just going to take you and show you a couple of things in the garden, not all of them. The garden, by the way, note that my life has been impossible to manage. So the garden is not looking good. It is weedy, there's grass, things are not planted well. I've had struggles with the harshness of the sunlight this year in one garden. So it's just kind of a crazy mess, but I do want to show you a few of the plants that managed to survive that I didn't think would. So one second, let's do that. So first of all, we have a ton of Tulsi. This side is what I grew for the challenge. This side was what I had already planted, but it's doing great. Regular basil is doing great. I have 2 more plants on the other side of the garden, but whatever. And then over here, I've got yarrow, some borage, which neither of those were technically in the challenge, but I'm not really updating for the challenge anyway. So I've got chicory that I need to plant in the ground. I think this is evening primrose. It might be soapwort. I don't know. It's kind of a surprise. I got Russian wormwood. This is not from me planting it. I'm just excited about it, so I'm sharing. And then I think I've got some more inside. And then inside, we've got a bunch of bee balms, which I don't need actually, but whatever. Some mammoth basil growing, some rosemary. Looks like I got 2. Some more borage, which something has been eating, which is weird. What is this? One marigold. He was not part of it. Soapwort should be this one here. Some more yarrows. I think this is another soapwort. Let's see. Can't see it because the label flipped. Yeah, this one I think is a soapwort. Yeah, so that's what's grown. And now you know how life has gone, how life is going, and where we're aiming for it to go in the next week. So please share how things are going for you, what's going on, and as always, I am sending you love.